देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. Yeah. So, towards the end, I may forget. So, let me give the acknowledgements in the beginning itself. First, to Harsha, last 4 or 5 years, every week, sometimes 3 classes, 4 classes, 2 classes, she has been sponsoring the Zoom every year, last 4 or 5 years, Harsha. Apart from, of course, having a physical class in her house, then last few Zooms, we couldn't have done without Sharada. Whole management is Sharada, right? Thank you all. God bless you all. Narayan, Narayan. See, in this world, nothing is redundant. Nothing is a waste. They say human appendicitis, is it? Right. That has no function. It would never be. God could have never created anything like that. You still have not come to know what it is. That's all. Right? You still have come to know what it is. Similarly, everything, some poisonous sweets, they have medicinal value. You need them. Why are they preserving wildlife? They are harmful to human beings. There is not only a separate law, separate department. Anybody who tries to kill a wildlife, he is punished. Why? Because they are also needed. They are also needed. So God is not unintelligent. Everything has a place. Bhagavatam, when Parikshit meets Kali, he could have killed him. He didn't kill. Why? Because you need Kali. You need Kali. Without Kali, without some negative forces around you, how will you, how will you try to take everything harmoniously, not see the differences? Advaita Bhavana. How do you get out of your likes and dislikes without the opposite negative forces? They are all needed for you to master your mind. To master your mind. Your enemy is very much needed to you for you to see God in him and go beyond your likes and dislikes. So God has provided a free laboratory for all of us. So nobody is redundant. There are different grades of people. Somebody who lives purely for himself, not even the family, body level. So if some tantric or astrologer tells you sacrifice your child for Durga, you will get kingdom. He does it. Bhagavad also, you know, Bharat's story, Jada Bharat. We have seen several in newspapers in the modern days itself. If somebody says you sacrifice your child, you will get prosperity, they do it. That's probably the lowest level. Then some people may not be that bad, but yet selfish, only himself, even in the family. Some rare people probably will do something for the family, but he expects them to reciprocate. I'm doing so much, you should do this for me. He expects them to reciprocate. Some people do it as a duty. Some people do it out of attachment. Some people do it out of love. Some people do it out of fulfillment. How many grades, you see? Who is bad in this? Each one is evolving from his own state. How can you call him bad? Everyone is evolving from his own state. They're all you. We have come from that. We have been stone. From stone, we evolved to be a plant. From plant, we evolved to be an animal. From animal, we evolved to be half lion, half man. And from that, we evolved at various stages. They all allowed you to stay and evolve. Now, how can you brand them bad, evil, and all that? Right? You need all of them, accept all of them. They're all divine. To see God in all and serve all is the gist of Karma Yoga. To see God in all, serve all through love is the gist of Karma Yoga. That is why, in a nutshell, he put Sukha Dukkhe Same Krutva Labha Labho Jaya Jayo Tato Yuddhaya Yujyasva. Going beyond the pairs of opposites, duality, should work only for the sake of work, because through such work, you go beyond the ego. Through such work, you go beyond the ego. Swamiji said, it's not important what you get out of work. It is important what you become out of work. What you become out of work. So, having explained Karma Yoga, which for an intelligent person is enough to gain the moksha. How? Shastra says, Jnanena tu kaivalyam. Only through jnana you can get moksha, not through karma. Na karmana, na prajaya, na dhanena. It says, Upanishad says, are you contradicting? No. Karma gives you chitta shuddhi. In that chitta shuddhi, the reflection of God yourself is clear. So it happens. This is why Ramana Bhagavan in Upadeshasara takes all the four paths and he says all the four paths can give you self-realization. All of them can give you. So having said that, Bhagavan wants us, this being the case, everybody has a place. Everybody is growing in their own pace. You do not try to go and unsettle the people who, according to you, are underdeveloped. Who, according to you, are underdeveloped. Don't unsettle them. Allow them to do what they are doing. Encourage them to do what they are doing. You try to change them by your own example, not through your words and deeds. Deeds means trying to obstruct them. Right? You be an example, let them learn. Because how will they learn through your example? They will say, I managing a small shop is so much agitated. This man is managing 20 factories. He is always peaceful. Right? That's how he inquires. He asks somebody and learns. Right? So he says, Nabuddhivedam janayet ajnanam karma sangina. Joshayet sarva karmani vidwan yukta samacharan. Because this topic is so important, not merely to accept all, it is important for you to find harmony with all. It's important to find harmony with all. It's important for you to get the Sarvatma Bhava. It is important for you to go beyond duality. And therefore, this topic is repeated again. Prakrutehe kriyamānāni gunaihi karmāni sarvasah ahankara vimūಢātmā kartāhamiti manyate tattvavittu mahabāho gunakarma vibhāgayo gune guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate prakrutehe gunasammūఢāः sajjante gunasarmasu tān akrusnavidah mandān krusnavit na vicārayet tān akrusnavidah, one of imperfect knowledge. Mandan, little slow in learning. Manda is not idiot or fool or anything. Little slow in learning. Manda, Krishnavid, the one who is well informed, na vichalayet, you don't disturb them. Why? Prakrute guna sammuda sajjante guna. Each one, according to their own nature, gets attached to the actions and results. And these innate nature, prakrutehe kriyamanane gunahi karmani sarvasha. Each one's innate nature, their own qualities, sattva rajo tamo gunas, they make them act accordingly. They make them act accordingly. And an idiot, egoistic fellow thinks, I am the doer. Ahankara vimūಢātma nityāchara sauchyate. He thinks, I am pure sadhak. I read Bhagavad Gita every day 10 times. Right? I take classes. I have mastered Shankara Bhashya. I am a vegetarian. All through the ego. That fellow is a crook. He drinks. He cheats. Where are you, a saint, where you find you and he? Where there is you and he, you supposed to be great and he is supposed to be low, you have ceased to be a saint. Right? Prakrutehe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvas. Ahankara vimūಢātma. The one vimūఢā. Vimūఢā is PhD in delusion. Mudha is deluded. Vimūఢā, PhD in delusion. Right? Ahankara vimūఢātma kartāhamiti manyate. He thinks I am the doer. Tattvavittu mahabāho gunakarma vibhāgayoho guna guneshu vartanta iti matva na sajjate. The one who knows the essential being. He knows the essential being in him is the same as the essential being in all. The differences are in the dress that we wear. The differences are in the dress that we wear. You can't judge a person by the dress. Before starting the class, I forgot to put my shirt. Now I put my shirt. What difference does it make? How can you judge? Right? Similarly, each one's shirt is different, and you need all of them. Okay. We all easily say he's a butcher. And what do? Go to the market, buy the meat, and come home. He is a butcher. And you buy his meat and come home and cook. Right? Who made him the butcher? If you are not buying the meat, you won't be a butcher. It is you that made him a butcher. So therefore, all are beautiful because all are God's expressions. Accept them all. Right? So these people know the differences are only in shirts. Guna guneshu vartanta. Each one's qualities try to interact with the external objects. Objects are also called gunas because the whole world is made of sattva, rajo, tamo guna. Your gunas play in their corresponding gunas in the outside world. His gunas play in his world. You need all. Therefore, do not sit over judgment of any. That is the essence. And this helps you also. When sometimes you are in a bad mood, you get angry. Don't go on cursing yourself because guilt is also a form of ego. A little understanding it was an error, okay, leave it. But go on insisting on that, you are only reinforcing the ego. You made an error, recognize, learn, march forward. Go on trying to think about that, you are only reinforcing the ego. So for you also, if someday you have done something wrong, hurt somebody, you just say it's all the play of the mind. The mind was not here at that time, mischievous at that time, so it did it, right? And march forward. That's all. And and so how to work? He gives the clue. I told you there are three slokas which give the essence of the Karma Yoga. Two in second chapter 38 and 47, and third chapter most important is the 30th verse. Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa nirashihi nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatattvaraha. Dedicating all our actions, good, bad, ugly, sattva, rajo, tamo gunas, all our activities to discover the one who supports sattva, rajo, tamo gunas, the one who supports good, bad, ugly, the one who supports the body, mind, intellect, the one who supports sukha and dukkha. Sukha has come, gone. Dukkha has come. It will not stay. It will also go. But who illumined both sukha and dukkha? And because there is somebody common, otherwise sukha gone, how will you know? There is somebody, when sukha went, he didn't go. When dukkha came, he gone through dukkha, but he didn't go. That's why he remembers. So that one is the one who supports both sukha and dukkha. That one is the consciousness. That one is you. That one is God. So use all these multiplicity, plurality, negative, positive things to discover that Lord. You need them. That's why God created the world. You can't see God. You have to need somebody to see God. You can't see anything. Can you see earth if there is no space around? You are able to see earth because there is space. Space conditions earth. Can you see water without a container? No, raindrops I see. Raindrops are also in space. You cannot see water also without a container. You cannot see air also without a container, balloon and all that. You cannot see fire also without a wood or some fuel. Anything in this world you want to see, you need a container. So God also, in all his kindness, because you want to see him, comes through various containers. So in all the containers, he is there. So instead of worrying about the containers, see the one who supports the various multiplicities, sukha, dukkha, right? Labha, alabha, profit, loss, right? Mana, avmana, honor, dishonor. We think life is beautiful with all positive things. In positive things, you forget God. Only in negative things, dukkha, loss, avmana, you remember God. So you need all of them. Same krutva, make see them equally. And in Sanskrit, there's a trick here in Sanskrit. Not many books say that, nor people explain. That word same is seventh locative class. Seventh locative class. So it means both sukha and dukkha, you try to see them in that sama, which is common. Sukha dukkhe same krutva. Labha labho jaya jaya. Tato yuddha yujas. Then why should I work if all are equal? Yuddha yujasva. For the sake of fighting. For the sake of fighting means what? Through the fight, the battle of life, you try to get rid of all your negative tendencies. And because you are doing for a cause, no ego, do not pick up new vasanas, and thus you become pure. So, through the battle of life, you become pure and reveal your godhood. That is the purpose. Yuddha yujyasva naivam papam avaps. When you do like that, you do not get any sin. Yuddha yujyasva vigatadvaraha. Vigatadvaraha, free from feverishness. Nirashi nirmamo bhutva. You see here, the last line is very important. Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa. Mayi in me, surrendering all our actions with the mind turns towards Atma, the self, Adhyatma Chetasa. Mayi Sarvani Karmani Adhyatma Chetasa, with the mind turned towards the self, dedicating all actions to me. Nirmamaha, not having the sense of possession, not only the external world, the body also, the mind also, the intellect also. Nirahankaraha, my, mine and me, mine and me. Tulsidas, I heard somewhere. I don't know Tulsidas thoroughly. These two words I heard. My more, right? Me and more, mine. Me and mine. These are the two things you think they are your friends. They are your enemies because they have deprived you of your godhood. This me and mine have deprived you of your godhood. So renounce this me, mama, me, this mine, mama, this me, ahankara. Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa nirashihi, free from hope. Hope means then hopeless, what to live? No, free from hope means free from expectations. Free from expectations. Expectations is in future. So when you try to align yourself with expectations, you are living in the future. When you are living in the future, you miss the present. Truth, life is in the present. So when you are living with the future expectations, hope, you miss the present, the truth and life. Nirashi, nirmamaha, mine. Mine is always possessions, past. Nirashi, future. Nirmamaha, past. When the mind is either in the past or in future, the mind is not in the present. The presence of the God can be felt only in the present. The presence of God can be felt only in the present. So when the mind is in the future or in the past, it misses the present. Therefore, it misses Godhood. It misses himself. It misses the truth. Nirashi nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatadvaraha. Must fight vigatadvaraha, free from feverishness in the present. These are the three channels of dissipation. These are the three channels of dissipation. That is, regrets of the past, anxieties of the future, feverishness in the present. When you block the two channels of dissipation, past and future, automatically the feverishness in the present goes. The feverishness in the present goes. So you have blocked the three channels of dissipation. That action becomes a karma yoga. When you block the three channels of dissipation, past, present, and future, that action becomes karma yoga. To live in the past, present, and future is to live in time. To live in time is to live with the finite. To live with the finite is to miss the infinite. So, if you want to transcend the finite, transcend the duality, lift your mind from the plurality, that is, Mayi Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya, trying to renounce all our actions in me. Sanyasya Adhyatma Chetsa, with the mind turns towards that self. Nirashi, free from hope. Nirmamaha, free from possession, sense of possession. Nirmamaha, Bhutva, Yudhyasva, Vigatadvaraha, fight free from feverishness. And Krishna says, Ye me matamidam nityam anutishtanti manavaha shraddhavantaha anasuyante muchyante devi karmavi. Arjuna, I am talking to you. But whoever follows this, Ye me matam anutishtanti manava. The thinking ones, manavaha means human. No, in Sanskrit, manavaha, only one who thinks is a human being. If he doesn't think, he may be walking on two legs, but still he is only an animal. Ye me matamidam nityam anutishtanti manava. One who follows this. Shraddhavantaha, with faith. Anasuyantaha, without doubt, without cavilling. Muchyante sarva. He also will get rid of vasanas, because vasanas belong to the ego. A man who is working in the spirit in which I am talking rises above the ego. Muchyante sarva karmabhi. Karmas, actions, vasanas. ये तु एतदभ्यसूयन्तः न अनुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतं सर्वज्ञानविमूढान्तान् विद्धि नष्टान् चेतसः. one who doesn't follow this instruction, what I am giving, saying it's all, you know, the olden times. These times, this won't cook. A man who says like that, he has lost all sense of discrimination and has ruined himself. Sadrusham chestate swasyaha prakrute jnanavanapi prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Now, this path of spirituality, the basis of it is to turn the attention to the self. To turn the attention to the self, one has to control the senses. If the mind is involved with the senses, it cannot turn inward. If the mind has to turn inward, it has to withdraw from the senses, means it has to control the senses. Sense control is the basis. So he is going to close this chapter with the topic of not only self-control, how to achieve it. The entire philosophy and religion, that's what he is going to conclude. So as an introduction to that, he says, people, even enlightened people, jnanis, intelligent people, are led by their own nature. A weak resolution, it cannot help. Nigraha kim karishyati. Every new year, everybody takes resolutions. It doesn't stay. Right? People who go to Shabarimala, 40 days, they are very pure. Don't touch liquor and all that. After coming back, maybe 2 days, 3 days, after that again they start. So the resolution which is weak cannot completely take his dependence on his own inner nature. So that has to be changed. How to change it is sense control. He says, Indriyas Indriyadhe Raga Dvesho Vyavastitau Tayoho Na Vashamagachet Tau Hi Asya Paripantinau. Indriyasya Indriyasyarthe Raga Dvesho Vyavastitau. It is natural for the senses to be attracted towards the sense objects because your likes and dislikes are deposited in those sense objects. They are there in them. Tayoho, but you should not come under their control. It is natural for the sense objects to attract. It is natural for the senses to be attracted. But you have an intellect to control the mind. The mind should control the intellect should control the mind. The intellect should control the mind. You should not come under this way. And while living thus, one more clear instruction. Shreyan swadharmo gunaha paradharma swanushtita swadharme nidanam shreya paradharmo bhayavaha. Arjuna wanted to run away and meditate. That is superior meditation. Paradharma, which others are practicing. It won't be good for you. You know what is your swadharma, and in that swadharma, be detached. Turn the mind and intellect towards God. Follow your swadharma. If you are a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Brahmana, you follow your swadharma. Do not try to imitate the others. It won't work for you. And when you follow your thing, you evolve. Even in between, you die. You take off from there. Swadharme nidanam sre. Paradharmo bhaya. If you take the others' uh, dharmas to practice because they look attractive, meditation and all that, you will meet with dead ends and you do not know how to proceed. You follow your own swadharma, you know how to go. So he concludes, and Arjuna says, Atakena prayuktoyam papam charati pursha anichannapi varshneya balodiva niyojitaha. Krishna, whatever you are talking seems to be so logical, so good. But then why people do not practice this? And they seem to be as though propelled and forced by some external force. They are doing all sorts of papas, sins. Krishna is now asking Arjuna. That means what? The Arjuna who started as a doubting Thomas has now started accepting Krishna as a guru. And now he is accepting, he started with the question in the third chapter, doubting Krishna. If you think meditation is superior to karma, why are you engaging me in this terrible karma? Now Krishna has given the logic. Arjuna is convinced. Arjuna is convinced through Krishna's words that he is to start his journey from where he is as a Kshatriya, karma, and not renounce. So the skeptic Arjuna has now become a devotee Arjuna, has accepted. So he is asking, what Krishna, whatever you are talking seems to be so reasonable and practical. Why people do not follow this and do whatever they are doing as though propelled and pushed by some external factor? अतकेन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पुरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वार्ष्णेय बलादिव नियुक्तः. As though by force they are doing that. What is by force? A person says, I yesterday night when he came from the bar, he didn't know his dress dropping. 3-4 people have to carry him and put him in a car if he has a driver to drive, otherwise taxi auto. So when he got into senses, he said, from tomorrow I won't touch liquor because I've been shamed. Before all I had to be carried like that. From tomorrow I won't touch. Usually he goes to the bar at 6 o'clock. He decided he won't. But 5:55, even without his knowledge, he started to the bar. Because his nature pushes him. Right? That's what Arjuna asked. As though forced by somebody, the man is not able to leave all the negative ways. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Kama yesha krodha yesha rajo guna samudbhavaha maha ashanaha maha papmaha viddhi yenam yaha vairinam. This fellow who is pushing you, you ask me, no, who is pushing? This fellow who is pushing you into negative activity is Mr. Desire alias anger. They're not two things. Sanskrit also, if you know that. It's not kama and krodha. Kama yesha, krodha yesha. This fellow who is desire, who is anger. They're only synonyms. Because firstly, when you are ignorant of the spiritual dimension, you feel inadequate. In that sense of inadequacy, you have desires. And when there is obstruction, you get anger. So they're not two different people, different conditions of the mind. You have desire, and there is an obstruction, then you get anger. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna samudbhava. Both these are born out of rajoguna. Viddhi enam yaha vairinam. Understand, this is your enemy. Enam is singular. It didn't say kama and krodha, plural. Enam, this fellow is your enemy. This fellow is ever, you have to eliminate him. Where is the enemy now? The world disturbs you. The world disturbs you. The world is a challenge to you. The world is a challenge to you. The world is tyrannizes you. Where is the enemy? Not the outside world, in you. Because your expectations make the world bad. Your expectations make the world bad. So the world is not bad. It's your mind that tries to expect a lot of things from the world, and if there are obstructions, get angry. Right? And now is a very strong enemy because why enemy? Because he robs your peace. He robs your peace. He robs your divinity. Right? He robs your peace. He robs your divinity. He deprives you of your godhood. Right? He must be got rid of. So when you want to get rid of a powerful enemy always changes his locations, strategies, associations. So you should know all the strategy, where all he moves, how all he moves, who are all his friends. Then only you can tackle him. So that is the portion Bhagavan is trying to explain to us how to detect this enemy, how to know his hideouts, how to isolate him in one place, how to eliminate him and master him. Right? So he says, this fellow has three intensities. Sometimes he is sober, he is not very bad sometimes. Sometimes a little advice you will take. Sometimes nothing can be done. That is, this desire has three intensities. He gives examples. Dhumena avrite vaknihi, the smoke that covers the fire. Dhumena avrite vaknihi, yatha yatadasho malena cha, and like the dust covering the mirror. Smoke covering the fire, dust covering the mirror, yatha ulbena avritaha garbaha, like the features that's covered by the womb. Tata tena idam avrutam. Tata, similarly, tena, by him. All this is enveloped. Tena idam avrutam. Tena, by him, by this ignorance, in these three intensities, idam, this is enveloped. What is this? Who is the one who is enveloping? Is not explained there. Who is enveloped? Who is enveloping? Is not explained. That he says in the next sloka, avrutam jnanametena. That which is covered, that which is enveloped is knowledge of jnanino, of the enlightened one, nitya vairina, this permanent enemy. How? Kama rupena, in the form of desire. That is, the one who covers is the desire. The one who is covered is the person. He may be even a jnani. Kama rupena kaunteya dushpurena analena cha. Like insatiable fire. You put any amount into the fire, it will never stop. That's why it's called anala. Alam means enough. Anala, not enough. Fire will never say alam. That's why the Nalanda University, na alam dadati. In the Nalanda University, However much you gather knowledge, you will feel never it's enough because it is so vast. It is so vast. So here he says, this desire is like a fire which is insatiable through any amount of feeding. It covers the gnani. Covers the gnani. So what is covered is the gnana, what is covering is the desire. How does it cover? Three intensities. Like the smoke on the fire. A passing breeze is enough to take up the smoke. So this ignorant man, a little ignorant, a little attached. Somebody passing man says something, that's enough for him. His ignorance is gone. Right? Sattva, just sattva guna. Rajo guna, little wiping, mirror, dust on the mirror, you have to wipe it. But you can wipe it. So rajo guna, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, upasana. Tamo guna, you cannot do anything. The features in the womb, nobody can do anything. 9 months and 9 days it has to be there to come out. So through tamo guna, nature only evolves. From stone, one becomes a plant. From plant, one becomes an animal. From animal, one becomes human. Up to this, they cannot evolve. Nature evolves them. As a human being alone, you have to evolve by yourself. Right? So this tamoguna, when it is there, it's like in the lower wombs, when nature alone can evolve. When the features is in the womb, nature take care after 9 months and 9 days to throw you out. Right? To push you out. You cannot do anything. This is the way three gunas operate on desire, which covers our knowledge. Right? So, and now three intensities he has said of the enemy. Now, what are the three locations where he operates? Indriyane manobuddhihi asya adhisthanamuchyate. Indriyane senses, manaha mind, buddhi intellect. These are the three substratums, locations from where he operates. Right? Yetaihi vimohetyesha, this desire, through this deluding this fellow, jnana mavrutya, covering the knowledge, dehinam, this indweller in the body, him, this desire through the senses, mind, and intellect deludes this man. Yetaihi vimohayati, deludes this man. Now you have known his intensities, you have known his locations. Now what you should do? Work out a strategy how to catch him while he is moving in the three locations. How to catch him while he is moving in these three locations. He says, easy for you. Tasmat indriyanyadav, to control at the senses to begin with is easier than to control the mind and intellect. So first start controlling the senses. First start controlling the senses. Then mind intellect gradually gets disciplined. Tasmat indriyanyadav niyamya bharatarshava papmanam pradihihyenam jnana vijnana nasanam. You must eliminate, kill this fellow who robs you of your jnana and vijnana, knowledge and wisdom. Right? Swamiji gives a beautiful example how to pin him down to one location. Somebody, parents live in Chennai. His wife lives in Bombay. His wife's house, mother-in-law's house. and he has the other woman in Delhi. He starts moving these three places, Chennai, Bombay, and Delhi. So the police, what they do is intelligently make the people in the house know that they are searching for him. So they telephone him and warn him, don't come here, police are looking for you. He tries to go to Bombay. He says, I'm coming. They also say, no, 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 don't come here, police are looking for you. And then he goes to Delhi. Their police don't make them know. Chennai and Bombay, they made them know so that he goes to Delhi. And Delhi, they don't give any signs, any signals. And when he goes there, they catch him. So also, you try to push this karma from the mind, intellect to the senses. At the level of the senses, you try to catch him. Right? And still you need a strategy. He says, Indriyani paranyahu indriyabhya param manaha manasastu para buddhi yo buddhe parasastu saha. Indriyani parani ahu indriyabhya. Senses are superior to sense objects. Because sense objects by themselves, they don't do anything. It is your senses that get you bound to them. So senses are superior to sense objects. And senses by themselves cannot be attracted without the mind working through them. So mind is superior to the senses. Mind is also guided by the intellect. So Indriyani paranyahu, senses are superior to indriyebhya, sense objects. And then the mind is superior to the senses. Manasastu para buddhehe. Intellect is superior to the even mind. Buddhe parasastu saha. The one God is even superior to the intellect. When they say superior, means more power, number one. More area of operation, number two. That's why it's called subtle. Gross is the body, senses. Body cannot go beyond this 3 by 2. Mind sitting here has gone everywhere. So mind is subtler than the body. Intellect is subtler than the mind because mind can only operate in known areas. Intellect can also inquire into unknown areas. So intellect has more subtlety. Subtlety in spirituality means area of operation, pervasiveness. Body is limited to a place. Mind can go everywhere. Subtle. Intellect is even subtler than them. So the body, mind, intellect. At the level of the body, your power is limited. At the level of the mind, power is more subtle. At the level of the intellect, the power is even more. The mind can control the body. Intellect can control the mind. But how the intellect can be controlled? When the intellect is turned towards truth, the Godhood. So the God is superior to the intellect. How? Body is limited in area of operation. Mind is even more. Intellect is little more. But God is all pervading. He is there everywhere. So when we said something pervades more is subtle, more powerful, God pervades everywhere. So he is subtler than the subtlest. Therefore, he is most powerful. When you turn the intellect towards God, all the three gets controlled. When you turn the mind away from the senses, senses get controlled. When you try to bring the mind under the control of the intellect, mind gets controlled. When the intellect is focused to this God principle, it gets controlled. So you have to identify the self behind all these three and you yoke yourself to this self. This is the chariot that we see. Horses' senses are held by the reins mind, controlled by the intellect charioteer. But what type of charioteer? Krishna is Yogeshwaraha, one who is tuned to his reality. This is the example of the chariot. Evam buddhe param buddha, having understood this supreme truth, samstabhyatmanam atmana, get established in yourself by yourself. Jahishatru Mahabahu, thus getting established in yourself by yourself. This enemy of yours, get rid of him. Jahishatru Mahabahu. Kamarupam Durasadam, who is in the form of desire, who is otherwise impossible to conquer unless you turn your mind, intellect towards the self. So the conclusion of this chapter is the only way for you to get rid of all the problems of the world is to turn your attention to the self. Turn your attention to the self, then make all your work as an offering to him. Whatever he gives, receive it as a prasada. That is the essence of Karma Yoga. He has done. Om Tatsatiti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade Karma Yogo Nama Tritiyodhyaya. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Charanam Braja Aham Tva Sarva Papebhya Mokshayishyami. Thank you all for allowing me to confuse you. God bless you all.